Have you ever just stopped and thought about how the English language gets so much out of just 5 little letters? You know, A, E, I, O, and U. They seem so simple, right? But they're actually the engine behind this incredibly complex system of sounds. So let's dive in and crack this code, because English spelling, well, it isn't nearly as chaotic as you might think.
I mean, think about it for a second. You've got the word hop and the word hope. One tiny letter, a silent E, and boom, the entire sound changes. This is the exact kind of puzzle we've all run into. It's what makes English feel so, well, random. But what if I told you there's a hidden pattern in there? Let's go find it.
All right, let's start with the absolute basics, something we all learned way back when. The English alphabet has exactly 5 vowels. A, E, I, O, U. That's it. Simple, clear, straightforward. But this is pretty much where the simplicity ends. Because get this, those 5 little letters are responsible for making more than 20 different sounds. Yeah, you heard that right, a 5 to 20 plus ratio. So how on earth do they pull that off? Well, the answer isn't just in the letters themselves, it's in the rhythm of how we actually say them. And that right there, that's our first big clue. The difference between all these vowel sounds, it's not just about, where you put your tongue. It's actually about timing. It's about rhythm. It's almost like there's a kind of music built into the language that helps us tell everything apart.
So let's break that down. We've got short vowels, which are pretty much what they sound like. They're quick, they're crisp. Think of them like a short, sharp little tap. But long vowels, they're totally different. They're stretched out, they're open, they have this kind of gliding, melodic feel. It's a difference you can actually feel when you say the words out loud.
And this is where you can really hear that split personality each vowel has. Just listen to this. The letter A goes from that short sound in cat to the long sound in cake. E flips from bed to seed. I goes from sit to kite. O from top to home. And U goes from that clipped sound in cup to the drawn-out cube. It's a tiny change on the page with a huge impact on the sound.
So how do we get a handle on this? Well, there's this really simple tool called the vowel rhythm formula. And the cool thing is, this isn't about memorizing a bunch of dry rules. It's about actually feeling the rhythm in your own voice.
So here's how it works. A short vowel is just one quick beat, quick and crisp. Think bit. One beat, done. A long vowel, though, you hold it for 2 beats, and it usually ends with this gliding tone, sometimes called a smile sound. So think bite, bite. You can feel that stretch, right? That's a physical clue your mouth is giving you.
Okay, so we've got the sounds and we've got the rhythm. But how does this all connect back to the actual spelling? This is where we go from understanding what the sound is to understanding how the letters on the page tell us which sound to use. And this is the most important part. English spelling isn't just a jumbled mess of letters. It's actually a system of clues. It's a decoder key. And once you learn how to spot these clues, you'll know exactly when a vowel is supposed to sound long. So what are these clues? Well, there are 5 main keys that unlock these long vowel sounds. First up is the famous silent E at the end of a word, like in make, or our first example, hope. That E is just a little signal. Then you've got vowel teams. When 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, like in rain or boat. There are also open syllables, where a syllable ends on a vowel, like in go or me. That almost always makes the vowel long. Even the letter Y gets in on the action, acting as a long vowel in words like cry and baby. And yeah, okay, there are some irregular ones, like find and gold, that you just kind of have to know. This quote just nails it. It really puts everything into perspective. These rules might seem a little weird to us now, but they're basically fossils from the language's history. They evolved over hundreds of years, and at one point in time, every single one of these patterns had a perfectly logical reason for existing. We're just rediscovering that old logic. All right, let's put all the pieces together. Because when you combine the rhythm of how we speak with the logic of how we spell, this whole puzzle really starts to make sense.
So here's the big takeaway. Pronunciation suddenly becomes predictable when you learn to listen for the rhythm and look for those spelling clues. It's not about making random guesses anymore. It's about understanding the music and the structure that's been hiding in the language all along. I just think this is a beautiful way to look at it. The short, punchy, practical vowels and the long, stretched-out, expressive ones, they're both absolutely essential. They are the voice of the language, and real clarity, real understanding, comes from the balance between the two. So, You now have the decoder keys. You have the tools to crack the code. Which makes me wonder, what other weird English words are suddenly starting to click for you?